So, as you know, for the last, I don't know, a year and a half, we have had a new Descent com added to the game every single week through the weekly project for your Descent run. All you have to do is defeat the Nemesis, and you receive the new collectible every single week. And well, as of today, I now have 60 of the Descent comms. And well, the last three comms have introduced this new person, this new character into the Division 2 story that I didn't know existed. And when I looked it up, there was only one reference towards this character. Now, this could be an old character from 2 years ago, or they could just be adding this right now. But it's kind of weird that all of this information from today's comm was already on the website. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Pleasantries first. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, we are going to go over Descent comms number 58, 59, and 60, because all of them introduce a new character named Kevin Park. So I hope you enjoy, and well, before we get into the actual comms, let me just show you how to get them. If you go to your menu, toggle over to projects, and if you go down to the bottom left, you should see your weekly Descent project. Now all you have to do is defeat the Nemesis, and you will get a new collectible every single week. And well, if I go to my progression tab, go to collectibles, under the comms category, you will see then Descent. Now there are 72 in total, so we have 12 more, which is funny because there's only 12 more weeks to this season. And well, the last three comms all have introduced this character named Kevin Park. Here, listen to this.
Okay, so in the event of an emergency, you want to be able to access all communication devices.
We already have that. It's called the National Emergency Broadcast System.
Sure, but say we have an EMP attack or a solar storm or someone attacks the system.
You want to create a redundancy?
I want to create an autonomous communications tool that can access and collate data.
You should talk to Claire.
Who's Claire?
Never mind. That's shit. Never mind. I can't talk about it.
Oh, one of your... I made quite a few upgrades to it. The network interface is more stable, the design is more robust, I fixed a ton of bugs, doesn't crash as much, I upgraded the hardware, improved the battery life, I even added customization options to the screen.
Nerd. Not gonna lie, it's impressive.
Thank you, Professor.
We'll need a full demonstration of its capabilities, of course. The technical schematics, review the code.
I can share most of it.
All of it. You want funding, right? You bring the prototype and your documentation, I bring the relevant people, and we will get your project funded.
Will you bring Claire?
Shut up, Kevin.
Trig.
Yeah?
That redacted Claire you said I should talk to before you remembered I shouldn't know she should exist?
What about her?
She wouldn't happen to be Claire Ortiz, would she?
Get that name out of your mouth. Who told you?
No one. She was at a conference on AI and guidance system applications. We got to talking, I pitched her link, and she told me it was adorable but couldn't compete with Isaac.
Stop talking.
Do you know what she's working on?
Seriously, stop talking.
If left unchecked, her work would violate every privacy law.
Seriously, Kevin, shut the fuck up.
I can't believe you aren't concerned about the security risks of a system like that. We have to tell someone. We need to warn them.
Kevin, do you like handcuffs?
What?
If you tell anyone about Isaac, you'd be a traitor to America. You want a permanent vacation in Guantanamo?
No.
Then learn when to stop talking.
So after listening to those comms, I was wondering, who is Kevin Park? What does he matter? And why are we talking about Trig yet again? Trig was a manhunt target from Season 10. He was a Black Tusk manhunt target. He called everyone different shapes, whatever shapes that they reminded him of. That's what he would try to nickname them. He was kind of like a forgettable character. Like, yeah, it was, cool, his little shtick with shapes, but that was really it. The weapon that he was using in the trailer was never in the game. What he did and said in the trailer was not in the game. It was just kind of like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like we took out Trig and then he kind of disappeared. So him coming back with all these descent comms is kind of weird because it's not really giving us any information at all. I mean, all this did was introduce yet another character with no backstory, no sort of character arc. It's just like very bland. And it's almost as if this was just added in here just to keep us busy because once you read it, there's really no substance. So, what do I mean by this? Well, if you go to the Division Wiki, right, the Division 2 Wiki page, now this is the division.fandom.com, okay? This is where you can get anything division wise on characters, information, lore, what have you. I guarantee people that do lore videos are taking it from this website because of a lot of the terminology that's used in this website you'll find familiar in other videos. Regardless, though, if you go to Trig's little bio, if you will, on the Division Wiki and scroll down to the history part, right? Right next to the history part, you have a list of his affiliations. So he is affiliated with the Black Tusk. We knew that whenever we took him on. We knew that he was with Natalia Sokolova, Calvin McManus, and General Anderson. And these are the 3 different manhunts that we took on while we took on Trig during that Season 10 campaign. Now, the only person missing here is Kevin Park. Kevin Park does not have a link, meaning he has no extra information. There's no background on him, no nothing. So everything I'm about to read to you is either directly like transcript from the comms or someone added this a long time ago and these comms are just picking pieces of this bio apart for, I don't know, content, I guess you could say. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that this is not new information. Trig and all this has been around since Season 10. This is not new. It's been over a year since we had Trig in the game. So everything I'm about to read to you is going to be very familiar, and it's because it's almost word for word from those descent comms. So after I read this, let me know if they're taking snippets of people's just history breakdown and just making new descent comms, or do you think that people are updating this website every single week with the descent comms? Now, the reason why I'm asking you this question is because I had to take on the Nemesis today, complete that and everything just to get the comm today. So this last part right here is from today's comm. So either this was added today or this has already been on the website this whole time and they're just now adding the descent comms to the game that have the same information. So let's get through the information and then we'll talk about speculations. So it says here, at one point, Trig had a conversation with a technician called Kevin Park about an idea that Kevin Park was pitching, an autonomous communications tool that can access any kind of data communications in an event of a solar storm, EMP, or someone just attacking the system. While Trig admitted that it was a good idea for Park, he was skeptical and believed that it wasn't new or interesting, that other people already had this. Nevertheless, he suggested to Park to present that idea to interested parties. Now, during this part, that's where Trig accidentally says Claire, right? And then he's like, I mean nothing. And then the guy's like, Claire, who? And he's like, nothing, forget about it, right? So that was the end of the first comm. We all listened to it. The next comm, which is funny because it's the next paragraph, it says later on, Kevin Park presented Trig the upgraded version of Link. Trig was impressed and then asked Park for a full demonstration, the technical schematics, and a review of the code of Link. Given that Park needed funding for this project, Trig requested for Kevin to bring him the prototype, all the documentation, and everything needed so that Trig could give all of this to either Natalia Sokolova or Calvin McManus, whoever, to get Kevin Park some funds for that project. Now then, it says much later, right? So it says at one point he had a conversation with somebody. Later on he did this, and then much later he did this. So it says, much later, Trig was approached by Kevin Park regarding Claire Ortiz and Isaac. Park expressed concerns about Isaac and the danger it represents to not only privacy, but also security risk. But then Trig warned him to keep quiet or else he's going to find himself flagged as a traitor to the United States, and they'll send him to Guantanamo Bay, which is a notorious prison for terrorists and people against the United States. Now, after that, it just kind of just goes right back into Trig was recruited by the Black Tusk, and then by the time of season 10, all of this happened. So this is actually all of the information we have on Kevin Park at all. If you were to Google or search Kevin Park at all regarding the Division universe, this is the only thing that pops up, and they just so happen to coexist with the 3 comms that we have given not only today, but the last 2 weeks as well. So I were to ask you this: why does any of this matter for the Descent comms? We were learning about Keener and Heartland, right? With all the redacted part for earlier this year. Last year, we learned about the Hunters and how the Hunters were working with Calvin McManus, but Keener is hunting those Hunters, and Natalia Sokolova wanted a Hunter recruiter to help convert some of her Black Tusk special units to Hunters. Now, with that being said, Kevin Park does not play a role in any of that. And in fact, he's talking about how he knew Claire in a previous conference and did all of none of that information from the comms is here from the Descent comms. So that's why I'm thinking that the Descent comms is just a recycled version of these paragraphs, because it's looking as if these paragraphs have been here the whole time to just talk about, Trig and try to progress the story. But at the same time, there's no reason for this to be in here. It's not adding anything to the story. All it's doing is bringing Kevin Park into the fold, but we don't know if he's a shade agent, because this is all apparently before the green poison outbreak. We don't know if he's even a rogue agent, because Trig was not recruited to the Black Tusk or became a rogue agent until well later when he got up with Keener. So where does Kevin Park fit into all of this? Does anybody know? What do you think? And I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it here, is because the last 3 weeks I've been scratching my head wondering what's going on with Kevin Park. Now, I've known about this whole Trig history thing this entire time, but not until today was I able to actually piece every single part together, because it's essentially the exact same thing that I just read to you. It's just in different words in a Descent comm. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused here. What do you think about this new character? What do you think about these Descent comms? And where is this story going? Because I am truly confused. The 3 comms prior to this were Keener talking to one of his new rogue agents that he had scoping out Silver Creek. And a lot of those things were redacted, and a lot of people were wondering, why were they still giving us Division Heartland comms? And now it's kind of taken this new turn where now we're just focusing in on Trig. And remember, Trig is dead, right? Keener is still alive. Theo Parnell is still alive. But Trig is gone. So unless they're bringing Kevin Park back for maybe the DLC, I'm not sure where exactly this is going to fit into it. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is a full discussion piece, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself. Peace out.